Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be integrating Google sign in Expo, and we'll get the Google token. And after getting the token, we can use it for various purposes. So let's get started. Yeah, so our Expo project has been created. Let's open it in our code editor. Yeah, so the app is now ready. So we'll start with authenticating adding the authentication package for the Expo. So for that, we just need to go into Expo docs and search for Expo authentication. If you can go here into Expo session of the documentation, we need to install these packages. So we'll add another terminal, and here we'll install these packages. And while they are installing, uh, we need to also add a schema. We'll add it later, and then we need to go into the authentication guide. So here we actually need to select Google, since we are doing the Google authentication. Where is Google? Yeah, here. So here we actually need four types of IDs. We actually don't need the web client ID because we are not going to use it in the web. So we need three IDs: Expo client ID, iOS client ID, and Android client ID. So for that, we need to create it from the Google app. While the packages are installing, let's create our Google app. So if we can go into the Google app, if you don't have any projects already, I already have a projects. That's why it's redirecting me to create the credentials directly here. So let's just create another project for now. Just give it an social login. Create it. Select this project. We'll see. I think in APIs and services, if we go into credentials, yeah, here we need to configure the consent screen first. Let's give it external so that any user can test it. Create. Let's give it an app name. Social login. Let's select our user support email, and let's give it our developer email also the same. Save and continue. And or remove scopes. You can select like what scopes we can add. Just update it and save and continue. We can add test users here. For now, public publishing status to testing, only test users able to. Okay, for now, we'll see it later. We'll go to the dashboard again. Yeah, we'll go to credentials. We need to create credentials, auth client ID, and we need to create it for Android, iOS, and Expo. So let's just create with Android. Just name it with social login. Package name. Actually, we'll get the package name from here. So in app.json, if we go into app.json, so there should be package name for iOS and Android. If it is not there, we'll just add it here. Package. Add it as .com or the dot social login for now. Give a comma here. This goes same for iOS. A comma here. Okay, save it and copy this package name, paste it here. Okay, and for SHA certificate fingerprint, what we need to do is, if we come here down into Android native, you can see like you have to run EAS credentials, then select the Android and pick up a build profile to generate the SHA fingerprint. So we'll go back into our, here we'll run EAS credentials. So if EAS is not installed in your system, you can just go into Google and search for how to install EAS CLI. I've searched this before. So if you come here, you can see the command for EAS install globally. So after doing that, you can actually, we also need to configure the project. So after that, you have to log in into your Expo account, EAS login, and then we need to configure the project. So for that, we need to run EAS build configure. So let's run it here in our app. So I already have installed the EAS CLI, so it will not give me any error. But in your case, if you are facing any error, then you must need to install EAS CLI and also need to, so it is asking me for the project. Give us, okay, for which platforms? For all, yeah. So I have configured and it kind of generated an EAS JSON file with this. So now what we have to do is we have to run EAS credentials. This will ask us for which platform we need to generate the credentials. So for now, we'll select Android since we need the SHA fingerprint for Android only. Let's select development for now. Involved Android application ID, only numeric characters. Okay, I think we messed up in the package here, so we don't need, this is not allowing it. So just remove the hyphen from here. Yeah, from here and here. Save it. We also need to change our package name in create auth ID. Ocean login. Now try. We need for Android development. Yeah, key store and set up a new key store. Assign a name. Okay. Social login Android. Yeah, generate a new Android key store. So after doing all of this, we should be getting a SHA fingerprint. Press any key to continue. Okay. Yeah, we have this SHA1 fingerprint. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it in here. So you have to generate your own SHA fingerprint. So I'll be deleting this after some time. So you'll not be able to access with this SHA fingerprint. You have to generate it on your own. And I will create this auth client ID. This gave us this client ID, right? So this is useful. So we'll copy it, but before that, if you can see, like, we need to replace the Android client ID here with the client ID that we have just generated. So let's just copy this code and paste it in our app. Okay, now copy this client ID and replace the iOS Android client ID, and we don't need web client ID, so we can remove this. And now generate for iOS. So create credentials. Since we don't have the process for iOS is also same. Since we don't have iOS device for now, yeah, let's go and generate. I'll show you the process. iOS, it's similar actually. Social login, and here the bundle ID means the package name. We'll just copy this package name and provide it here, and we'll create it. We'll just copy this and paste it in the place of iOS client ID. And we also need a web client ID. So we just create credentials for client ID, and this time we'll select web application. This should be Expo, and here we need to add the authorized JavaScript origins uh, that is mentioned in this documentation. So if we go here, like, this is authorized JavaScript origin we need to add. So we'll add it here, and we also need to add a redirected URI. So this is the one. We'll copy this and paste it here. But here what we need to do is we need to replace our username with it. So if we can go into our Expo account, anyway, this is my username. I'll copy this username. I'll paste it here, and my project slug. So in the app.json you can find your project slug. So this is my project slug name. I'll copy it and replace it with this. And I'll create that. So it will also generate a client secret and client ID. We don't need the client secret actually. We just need the client ID. So I'll copy this. Okay, and what I'll do is, yeah, I'll replace it with our Expo client ID. Okay, and here you can see. So what is this code is doing is we're just importing Google from auth session providers, and this web browser maybe complete auth session is required, like it is mentioned in the documentation. This thing we need to use it because I'll show you why is that. Yeah, so we need to use this to dismiss the web pop-up. So if we forgot to add this, then the pop-up window will not close. So for that we need to use that piece of code. So what else we are doing? So on click of this button, we are calling the prompt async function, which is coming from this Google package, and we are providing all our Expo client ID, iOS client ID, and Android client ID. And this will ask us this should work. Let's save it and see. Let's bring our application here. Metro encountered an error. Okay, let's restart our Metro. Let's reload the app. We have this login button, but it's on very top. Let's bring it to the center. So just let's wrap it in a safe area, and let's give it a style. So container styles does not exist as of now. Let's create them. We need style sheet from React Native. We'll create the basic styles for now for the container. Yeah, let need a flex one and center the things. Okay, so our button should be in center now, but it is not. Let me just reload the app. Yeah, now our button is in center and we click on login. There is a warning, but I think this is working. So access block, this app request is invalid. Okay, there is some error. Let's see the error details. Because developer redirector URI. I think there is something wrong with our redirect URI. Let's just check with that. There is an extra E here. Yeah, let's save it. Okay, let's try it now. Let's reload our app. Close it. Reload our app. what else we can do is before logging in, we'll just log the authentication here. Yeah, so it is refreshed. Let's log in, sign into here. Yeah, now it is showing my Google account. And here in the console, you can see like we got the token, access token. Yeah, that's it. But we are also getting a warning. Let's try to solve that. So for that, we need to add a schema. In Expo, we need to add the scheme. Let's make sure spelling is correct. And in app.json, let's remove it from here for now. Okay. In app.json, inside Expo, we're adding scheme. Yeah, okay. Let's try to stop the server and restore it because we made changes to app.json. So my build is successful. We also added the scheme here. Let's try it. So now we are not getting any warning. And after logging in, we got the access token, and we can like issue it, and I mean we can store it in the backend. We can send it to the backend, and we can store it there, and we'll retrieve different information on this user with this access token. Yeah. So this should ideally work in iOS as well because we have added the iOS client ID also here. So currently I don't have a way to present my iOS device here. I'll try to do a screen recording of it and try to attach it in this video. Hi guys. So we are actually finished with the token, but I just want to get the profile information based on the token also. So currently we are getting the token, and we just logged it in the console. But instead of logging the token in the console, what we can do is we will get the profile info of the user. So for that, we'll need another function. So I'll write another function like get user info. This will be an async function. So here what we'll do is const quant2 await and fetch the user info from I found one Google API in the web, so we'll fetch it from this URL. Yeah, we just need to provide the access token to it. Store it in the token, right? Yeah. So this method, okay, will fetch it, and after like fetching it, we'll also convert it to JSON. And what we'll do is we'll set a hook actually. So const user data set user data So initially this hook will be null. Later we set the user data once we fetched it. We'll set the user data here with whatever response we got. And just return the response. Okay, now we need to call this get user info. So basically when can we call this is when we have a token. So if token is there, then we'll call this function get user info, and if token is not there, then we'll call prompt async. And usually if token is there, we'll show get user info button. And if token is not there, then we'll show login button. So let's check, and we'll log our response, I mean user data, just to check. So initially our user data is null, as we said it here. Then we are here we can see like there is a login button. If I click on that login button, it will redirect us to the Expo. And okay, it got the token. And now if we click on the get user data, yeah, it is getting our user data and it is showing it here. Okay, so what we can do is to show this, we'll create a profile page. I have some basic markup. I'll just copy paste it. So this is basic profile page. Just here we'll replace it with the URI. So this profile page, we will render this profile page in the app. So if we have the user data, let's do one thing. If we have the user data, then we will render profile page. And if we don't have the user data, then we'll render this button. Okay, so for the profile page, we actually need okay, there is some error. Let's reload and see. There is again some error. Okay, okay, we didn't save it here. I need to import profile page. Yeah. Okay, so we are getting our user data, right? So yeah, so we need to pass our user data to our profile page or whatever are required. Let's just pass our profile pic name and email. Bit for now. Just we'll just check whether this works or not. Instead of this, just pass the user data. Face eyebrows. User data. This will be an object. And this will be eyebrows. We will replace this with user data dot file pic. User data dot name. User data dot email. Also save it. Okay, now we have this login button. We'll click on it. It will redirect us. We'll log in. And we have get user data. If we click on get user data, yeah, it is showing my name and email, but it is not showing my profile pic. This is because it have actually it is not profile pic. It's just picture. Save it. Yeah, it is also showing my profile pic now. But there are these TypeScript errors. So for now, what we can do is we can write and type like this and hard code the type and use it. So we definitely need it here, not in that other page. Yeah, we can copy, cut it from there and use it here. And we can pass this type. Google user info property does not exist. Property user data does not exist on type Google user data. This should be yeah. Let's log in and see if it's working. It should be because we only fixed TypeScript errors. Yeah, it is working. That's about this video, guys. Thank you. That's it for this video. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any comments on this, please do comment. Thank you.